Hey, all my love from South Philly. Mwah. Peace out, pal.
Vinny from South Philly.
You're watching Vinny from South Philly.
All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Vinny Presents. And today, joining us from California, sunny California, I might say, of course. I'm always jealous of that. She is an actress, she's a singer, and she's a comedian, and she's also a fellow Sagittarian. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you Maya Spielman. Maya, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Hi. Yes, it is perfect today. It's like 75 and a little breeze. It couldn't be better.
Awesome, fantastic, fantastic. So for our viewers out there, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am currently a comedian, although I was a celebrity portrait artist for literally 30 years. And now I just fell into comedy a year and a half ago, and it's been a wild ride. It's amazing. I'm loving every minute. No, I'm hating half the minutes, but you bomb and then you succeed. So it's a little bit of both, and I'm learning to ride with that, but I also, my real passion, which I don't know where it's going to go, and it really doesn't matter because I just do it for me and I have so much fun. My real passion, creating my own songs to beats that other producers make, and then making little cute music videos all by myself, because I've always been a creator of all types of art. So that is my big passion, and I'm currently working on my third music video. It's going to be out soon. I think I'm calling it Laziest Bitch Alive because I'm not sure the exact title, but my passion is creating comedy songs, comedy music videos to just make you laugh and have fun with. So, but they're also kind of sexy. So I'm really excited. I'm working on my third one. Can't wait. Oh my God. I'm actually shooting my final scene tomorrow, and I do everything. I edit, film, make the music. I do everything. One day, if I worked with other producers, that could be interesting, but I've talked to a lot of people about working with them, and I just haven't wanted to go that route. And it's really fun to just do it all myself. So it's exciting. I love it. That's my true passion.
That sounds great. That's part of being an artist, right? So your artistry comes out in a lot of different forms, and you have a lot of creativity in you. And so it gets expressed in a lot of different ways. I can understand that. That's great. That's great. So being in California, obviously in LA, in those areas, you have the advantage of being around the resources that you need to kind of get yourself out there. And speaking about comedy, I used to love going to the comedy scene in LA. It's amazing. You got the improv, the comedy stores, a million places there. So you have it all at your fingertips.
I think the hardest part is not knowing on a certain night, do I go to an open mic or do I go to a comedy show? Like just tonight, literally all the greats are going to be at the Comedy Store, but I have an open mic that I'm really excited about that feels like a comedy show with probably 30 people in the audience and all my good friends. So I'm going to that because that's so fun for me, but I want to go see the real comedians that are like 20-year comedians that I can learn from. So that is actually a juggle. And that's the way that I got into comedy, was just going to comedy shows, loving it so much. And I would always say, I could never do this. Like, this actually looks impossible to me. Like, there's no way. And then I just kind of got drawn to a flappers class, and the rest is history. I mean, I just, fell in love with it. I love comedy. I'm doing comedy. I don't know if comedy is the end of the road. Like, I don't know where it's going to go, but it's a fun ride. I also just shot my first little movie role, and that was like so fun and so exciting. And so I want to see where more of those things can happen, but I also just love being in control of the camera and what's happening. And I think that's part of what is so hard with comedy, is you are not in control. You're up on that stage at the mercy of the crowd. You're in control of what you say, but you're not in control of how they react to you, and what type of crowd you have for the night changes the reaction. So like I say, you could have the same exact material and kill it one night and bomb the next, and you feel really stupid. But you have to remind yourself, it's just some people will receive you differently, and got to keep going.
Yeah, and it's for those that don't know, comedy is no joke, no pun intended, but it really is not as easy as it may look to a lot of people. You have to really, there's a science behind it. You have to really understand it if you want to be successful, and it's absolutely not easy to be a comedian. So I give everybody that gets on that stage a lot of credit. That in itself is a lot of hard work and a lot of tears too.
And you could have jokes that work with 30 crowds, or 20 crowds, and then 20 crowds those same jokes don't work with. And you're like, well, why don't they work with you guys? And then I think sometimes it's like the way that you come onto the stage. And for me, kind of want to wear the leather pants, which get a lot of comments and get people going in the comment section, and also kind of just help the virality of the video. And so wearing these sexy leather pants on stage is kind of off-putting, I think, to some audience members, because sure, if you're Eliza Schlesinger, you know, maybe you can pull that off when you're in a big arena and you're already famous. But at this level, everybody's wearing jeans everywhere I go. And here I am in my leather pants at every comedy show. And I'm sure people are just kind of like, you're not really fitting in, but I'm utilizing it because I'm also making money off of it. So my whole goal is getting these viral clips. As I like to say, I'm here to get a viral clip. Here, like at a comedy club, I just get a virus. So that's one of my jokes I always tell to kind of make sense of why I'm wearing leather pants and all done up when everybody else is in jeans and tennis shoes.
Yeah, and that's actually, I would say that's a pretty good marketing tool. You know, a lot of conversions that way, so to speak. So yeah, that's a great little gimmick, I think. Hey, listen,
I didn't know this was. I'm sorry to interrupt. I didn't know this was going to happen. You know, I didn't. When I first started posting comedy clips, they weren't really. You know, they were kind of going viral a little bit. The first ones, really in the leather pants, it started going haywire, and I have a lot of clips that have 5 million views, a lot that have 3 million views, and I've made like a lot of money from just that. So it's such a weird thing. It's kind of like, I think that's what's kept me in comedy. Okay, comedy is amazing, but it's so hard that I would have probably quit if it wasn't for this side. So that's what's kept me going, kept me being tough, because it is really scary. And you have to be so vulnerable, and you're just constantly getting humiliated when they don't laugh, you know? But then there's the nights that you do great and people love you. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to just keep doing this forever, you know?
yeah, you just got to keep at it. The lesson there is you just got to keep on going and don't let anything stop you.
New. I'm so fresh to this. Like, I've barely been doing this at all. Like, I'm a baby in the comedy world. Like, I respect everybody who's been doing this 5, 10, 20, you know, I'm just like an infant in here.
But it's a nice community. You know, you're, of course, and just like anything, you're going to find some people that get some bad apples. But it's, for by and large, the comedy communities, they're pretty. They stick together. I think they try to root each other in, and they try to help one another. From what I you know, what I've experienced and what I've seen. So and it's enjoyable.
I remember Seinfeld said, and this is way before I was a comedian, he said something that really drew me in. He said, being a comedian and going into a green room is like being a puppy and walking into a room full of puppies, because you just feel the love and the connection and the understanding that nobody else in the world can really get except for a comedian, because we put ourselves out there so much that when we come together as a community, we kind of get like, oh my God, we are the most like brave, vulnerable, scary, like this is the scariest profession ever. So it's nice to have that community. I've developed like this amazing community of people that is like, magic. Like I could never, that's the part you also can't walk away from, is the friends that you make in this.
And it's exhilarating too, you know, when you hear people that are enjoying your comedy and they're laughing, they're clapping. I mean, it's exhilarating. And it's rewarding in that sense too. You feel like you're really connecting with the audience and you're accomplishing something. So, and in my opinion, always has been, you know, laughter is the best medicine. So it's really, we need more of it.
Yes. It's like, what other job do you get to do that your goal is to bring joy out of people? Like that is crazy. And I've struggled from the beginning with being conversational. It's only been 6 months that people aren't saying to me every day, you're not conversational. First year I was hearing that, and that had to do with me thinking that being a comedian is bringing so much joy onto the stage. And unfortunately, which I've had to learn, being a comedian, you're not I mean, some comedians can get away with this behavior, but a lot of comedians need to be more dry and kind of cold. And I've learned that I have to be a little more dry than I want, because I want to be like, hi guys, how are you? You know, that does not, you can't, you got to be more like dry. And that's been a big learning process for me, is learning to be more dry. And I had a show recently that I was just like, hi everyone. And they were not having it. I mean, I bombed so hard, and I was trying to be more dry by the end, and they were finally liking me more. But certain audience they're like, okay, be a little mean to us, and then we'll give you some laughs, you know.
You gotta abuse them.
I like my husband. Just kidding. What?
You have to abuse them a little.
Yeah, I was saying kind of like my husband. No.
Yeah, say you got to abuse them. They'll treat you better. It's just the psychology
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where can we stumble across you if we're walking through LA and some of these clubs here? Anything coming up? I did notice you had a couple things coming up. Do you want to let us know what can we expect in the coming months?
Yeah, I have, I think 6 or 7 shows coming up. But I'm doing the Ice House June 20th. And then I've got so many different like bar shows and different venues, but I'm doing Anheuser-Busch June 13th. And that is, I think we're like almost sold out. That's like 200 plus people. I'm so excited. That's going to be like my biggest show yet. And that is like, oh, so exciting. And then in June 28th, I'm performing with Brittany Schmidt. I'm opening for her, which is just amazing because she's like skyrocketed to fame in the last few years. I'm excited about that. But yeah, everything's listed on my Instagram and, lots of stuff coming up.
Now, of course, that's a good segue. Of course, we'll have all of your information in the description box. So if anybody's watching this, please make sure you go to the description box. We'll have links for Maya. Of course, follow me when he presents and subscribe. But where can we find you, Nick? We have you out on Instagram, obviously. Where else can people find you?
So I have a YouTube page. It's small but growing. That's where I really post the full clips of my music videos. So Maya Spielman on YouTube, also Maya Spielman on TikTok and Twitter, and it's Maya Spielman Artist on Instagram.
Fantastic. All right. Any closing remarks? Any advice for some young ladies like yourself getting involved in comedy these days? Anything you would like to pass along? Any bits of nuggets of knowledge?
Here's what I would love to say for people entering comedy. You have got to do 2 things. Number 1, learn the science, like you said, learn the structure, setup, punchline, shock. You got to learn the basics. And number 2, putting in the reps, which is what everybody says. It's a standard line, but just means getting out there and doing open mics. I remember when I was in class, people would say at open mics, people aren't going to laugh at you. They're going to be mean to you. It's going to be really hard. And I would be like, I'm never doing open mics. Screw that. And, now I've come to love open mics because that's what you got to do. You got to get out there and you got to practice. So just don't go out there and just think, oh, I can just get up on stage and be funny. That's the mistake of so many new comics. They just think they don't need to learn the way joke structure works. And if you don't learn joke structure, you're not going to be able to elicit that shocking burst of laughter out of a human being that is coming from the surprise. And so learning structure is really the most important thing. And then just practicing over and over, getting up on stage. I bought a mic and an amp and I have it in my living room. And I practice every night to my 12 animals. And they gave me dirty looks and growls. But, just practicing a lot. And I really encourage everyone to get out there. It's really exciting and you learn a lot about yourself.
Sounds like you have a tough crowd with those animals.
Oh my goodness. They are the toughest. No laughter. So it's...
Well, it has been a pleasure speaking with you, Maya. We're going to let you go. We'll definitely keep an eye on you. And again, everybody's watching. Make sure that you follow Maya, subscribe, go on her YouTube, her Instagram, follow, subscribe, and check her out if you're in the area. And tell them Vinny sent you. But in the meantime, Maya, it's been a pleasure interviewing you and being part of the conversation. I always love interviewing my friends out there in LA and hearing all the good stuff that's going on. And with that being said, thanks again. Hopefully we'll bring you back another time. You can catch us up to speed on what's going on.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Mwah.